Hello and welcome to yet another edition of the Full Force News Burst, brought to you by GeneralsJoes.com with me as your host, Chris, doesn't know which way is up anymore, McLeod, aka Diagnostic 80. Joining me today to talk about the news that Snake Eyes is back on with a filming date but no director is Justin, that's it, you have to stop calling me now, Bell. So without further ado, let's get stuck into this news burst. Well, this is fun, isn't it? With Schwenke off the film due to other commitments and word of a return to Ever Vigilant, we were languishing in the dark regarding the future of the Snake Eyes movie. Well, a few days ago, a mysterious tweet emerged from @lemon_buzz stating that the G.I. Joe movie Snake Eyes begins filming in Vancouver October 15th, at What's Filming, at OLV, #YVR Shoots, #G.I. Joe. The tweet garnered little more than a curious eye from us, mainly due to the fact that a number of media outlets had been disseminating incorrect or ill-informed info regarding the movie prior to this. However, they were not making this up because today, HissTank broke the official news that filming is going ahead on October 15th through to December 9th, 2019 in British Columbia, Vancouver, as was previously reported by us on a news burst quite a number of months ago. The film has yet to claim a director or assistant director with the loss of Schwenke, but has filled positions elsewhere with Jeff G. Waxman as producer, whose credits include John Wick movies, Adrian Soll as the production manager who worked on War of the Planet of the Apes and Man of Steel, and Laura Livingston as production coordinator, whose work includes Rise of the Planet of the Apes, X-Men The Last Stand and 2014's Godzilla. Gracklebird Productions Limited will handle the production in Canada, a company that seems to have been created simply for this movie and is probably run by the Powley twins, Zaymot and Tomax. Paramount will be spending $20 million for this part of the process, including crew and locations alone, and it looks like we are back on, sort of. Justin, are we in the upside down? I have no idea what is going on anymore.
I don't know how they're going to do any of it without a director in place.
I know no director, no assistant director. I mean, they've got a few people kind of lined up for positions on the film, but
right.
Absolutely, how are they going to do this without a director? And I suppose... Are you kind of thinking that anybody could do this coming into it? I mean, how much prep time are they going to need?
Exactly. I mean, it's kind of the impression they're giving is that this isn't important. We can just kind of run with it and roll with it and we'll be fine. It's
so weird, isn't it? I mean,
yes.
Are you pleased to hear that Snake Eyes is back on and the Ever Vigilant script is moving further away? Or are you kind of just... I mean, how does that make you feel?
Pleased is probably the wrong term because I'm really not a big fan of kind of the way this is all shaping up.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they're kind of sticking to a schedule if that's what they're doing. I think a G.I. Joe movie is better than no G.I. Joe movie. So I mean, in that way, I'm pleased, but I really wish it at least seemed like they had their stuff together.
Isn't it odd that they're kind of almost saying here that the film is so really not that important that they can just have anybody fill in these important elements,
right?
They almost like, you can be switched out at any time, it doesn't really matter. I think that's where the main issue is that I'm having with it, is that this should be somebody's main focus. This should be someone like at the director position should be all over this because they want to be involved, they want to do this, they want input on the script, they want input on how this film is going to come across. And at the moment, to not have that but have the studio running around like setting all these things up and getting ready for filming in October, it just feels really odd, doesn't it?
It totally does. I mean, I don't think people necessarily realize the importance of a film director. I mean, Hollywood movies typically get the spotlight for the stars and the script and stuff like that, but the director is like literally, kind of the manager of the film. He's the one that kind of brings it all together and develops a lot of the scenes and, knows the script inside and out. I mean, it's a very important role, and to kind of assume that you can just slip somebody out and slip somebody else back in and it's not a big deal. I just don't get that. And, who knows, maybe Schwenke will be back by then. And the whole thing of him not being ready was more rumor than truth. I don't know. But regardless, it really does not seem, it's not a good look. We'll put it that way. The fact that, we don't have a director or an assistant director, but we're just going to go ahead anyway, dim torpedoes, full speed ahead regardless. And it's not, doesn't start off on the right foot.
No, it's odd, isn't it? And also the fact that I feel like a good film can't come of this if you don't have that person in place,
right?
From the off.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of the whole Rise of Cobra thing, where we knew going into it that the script writers were on strike. I mean, we knew all this, and we knew that Stephen Sommers was probably not their first choice, and we knew Stephen Sommers had elements of a pre-existing film that he wanted to kind of convert into a G.I. Joe movie. We knew all this stuff ahead of time, but folks I admit it, I get kind of ramped up and optimistic and excited about these things, where like looking past it and saying, no, they can still do this. They can still pull this together. And then after, maybe it'll be fine. And then afterwards, you kind of look back and say, oh, wow, the fact that, they didn't have a scriptwriter, geez, that kind of showed. Or the fact that, half of Hollywood was on strike during the production. Yeah, that was pretty evident. And the fact that Stephen Sommers really didn't want to do this movie a whole lot. Oh, yeah, that was pretty evident too. So, I mean, the stuff usually does come back to bite you in the afterwards. So, I'm going to stay positive. I'm going to stay excited and everything. But, I would be lying if I said I wasn't concerned.
Yeah, totally. And also no cast yet as well, so not even a glimmer of a cast yet. So I think they will be using our news burst.
Yeah, probably. Oh, did I not tell you I'm playing Snake Eyes?
Oh, thank God for that. We have Justin Bell is Snake Eyes. Thank goodness you have to wear a mask, right?
Yeah, exactly. I wear a mask. I don't have to talk, but I can do wicked splits.
I think a lot of people would pay to see that. Anyway, Justin, thanks for jumping on for just a quick update on the Snake Eyes scenario. It really is one of the biggest cluster fudges of all human time, but it's still going ahead apparently. October 15th is when we're all going to be booking our tickets out to Canada, to Vancouver, to go and watch the Snake Eyes movie being filmed. It's going to be like empty streets and nothing happening. I swear. It's all some fake thing. Imagine if you get there and you see a couple of guys in Delta 6 accelerator suits. Channing Tatum's on the set. Eyes. You're like, Snake Eyes in an accelerator suit. What's going on? Anyway, thank you for jumping on, buddy. Really appreciate it. No problem. That's it for this rather quick installment of the Full Force News Burst. Thank you to my awesome co-host Justin Bell. See you next time in probably a few minutes. And as always, full force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on Twitter @TheFullForce, liking the Facebook page facebook.com/TheFullForce, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on either of those platforms with feedback or questions. We have also started a Patreon page, so if you want to see your name up in lights on these videos or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/TheFullForce podcast or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force. Cobra is taking over this month with Cobra Convergence 4. The entire month of July will be turned blue thanks to Hooded Cobra Commander 788 and a plethora of G.I. Joe related YouTubers, podcasters and much, much more. So make sure you check them out over the 31 days of July. All hail Mighty Cobra.